Capricorn.
Hello Capricorn, this is your forecast for August 2016, and the astrology of this month is special. I will start off here just talking about a little bit about the lunar eclipse that we're going to have, and it's a full lunar eclipse which will take place August 18th, 25 degrees in Aquarius. So wherever you have other planets at 25 degrees, this full lunar eclipse will be ricocheting off of them as well. And of course, eclipses, especially the lunar eclipses that come in, is all about something, some area of your life that will be eclipsed out, let go of. But don't worry, the universe always knows what is best for your higher self, and whatever is being taken away or eliminated is only those things that no longer hold any value for you anymore. And you know, sometimes we cling to old patterns, old situations, old things and stuff, which actually is just holding us back. So when that is released, well, then the universe is putting in new things into your life, and we're taking leaps and bounds ahead with super speed, because that's the universe's way to kick us into action, into new areas that are going to be opening up. So September is going to be really exciting to listen to, just to see what the universe now has brought about here to you. But this lunar eclipse, where is it taking place in your chart? It is in your second house. For money, income, values, and whatnot, you might just come to see that something might be let go of. And if it's something of your own choosing, well, then you're in a little bit of control, which for you Capricorns, it's always important to feel that control. So when I'm saying that something within your value system might leave, I know that might just give you a little angst, but don't have it, all right? Just be the observer rather than the participant. When this takes place, tell yourself that thank you, thank you now, universe, I am ready and open to receive, and then see what the universe is going to be setting you up for expansion over the next coming months. You're going to be okay. But now, as we're having that eclipse on August 18th, at the same time, where your main focus this month is where the sun is transiting. And we have the sun, the new moon, and Venus, all three, touring through your 8th house, which also has to do with money and value. Now, the 8th house, more rather than the income that we have and see on a monthly basis, it's more about your investments. It's royalties, it's commissions, resources that you share with your partner or somebody else that you might partner with. That can be investment brokers, bankers, whatever. It could be retirement funds, inheritances, and so forth. So the focus this month will be looking over how you can move things around. It could be looking into mortgages, maybe a better rate. Maybe that's what's being eclipsed out, for example. If you're paying too high of a rate, well, maybe this is the blessing of this month, that you can actually look into something and get a better deal. So that's one scenario how things can actually open up for you. But the 8th house also is the house known as intimacy. So it's also how you are sharing yourself with your partner on this level. How open are you? How open is he or she? What can actually now come forward and become a little bit closer in your communication? And since Venus is here, Venus is love, right? And the 8th house is intimacy. So you might be speaking, sharing more between the two of you. And Venus has been cruising in this area in July. So you have like probably a week here into August where you can still use the energy from this placement before Venus then will be moving into the 9th house, which has to do with long distance travel, or also higher education, spirituality, philosophy. It also rules visas, green cards, publishing, and anything of the law too. But before I let you go from the 8th house, let's talk about the new moon. because the new moon is in your 8th house. This is where we see new beginnings. That's what the new moon is all about. It'll be a whole year before the new moon comes back to this area, and the new moon is new beginnings. That's the day where we put down our intentions. So whatever those intentions might be for you and signalize, well, that is what you want to think about. Intimacy. You want to think about sharing. You want to think about how you could grow long-term investments and so forth. So that is August 2nd, and it will be 10 degrees in Leo. So any other planets that you have at 10 degrees in your own personal chart, which I can't see from here, well, do know that the new moon will be infusing it, sparking it with new beginnings as well. But as we look into the 9th house, where Venus will be coming into, well, the 9th house loves to travel. It loves to explore. It's the adventure, right? So it will be joining Mercury and Jupiter, which is already there. Jupiter has been beaming this area with its gracefulness ever since last summer. So now that Mercury's there, communication about perhaps journeying or staying in touch with somebody from far away, or meeting a foreigner, which could very well come to be a good support or backing for you. You might come to see how that happens, and especially when Venus joins the crown. Now, if you by any chance here, Capricorn, are looking to get something published, this would be a great month for it, to get it out to a publishing company. You could have good news coming back to you, and so be aware, to take advantage of when the energy is here. So yeah, we are moving on to Mars. Mars has been retrograde for a long time now in the 11th house of social activity. So you might have felt that friends from the past might have come back in and around, catching up with them, maybe catching up on old dreams, hopes, and visions, which the 11th house also indicates. And it could also be you working with certain people within groups and also organizations. So you've been wrapping this up. Mars turned direct at the very last day there of June, so slowly in July it's been moving forward. You might not have noticed it all that strong yet, because it takes time for a planet after having been retrograde to start moving forward again. But here from August, it's going to be picking up speed. It starts at 29 degrees August 1st there in your 11th house, so definitely wrapping things up. And now Mars will be moving into your 12th house. What does that mean? The 12th house is always where we recuperate. We pull back from the outer world. Maybe not so that other people notice it all that much, but you will feel the need to kind of pull back, or should I say pull within. And it is where you can recharge your batteries. This is dream time, so if you need extra rest, do so. If you want to go get massages, do so. It's a time to meditate, do your yoga, anything that you could do to heal that inner self. This will empower you, because why? Mars has been, for the most part of 2 years now, out in the outer world, busy, 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 doing. And right now, you're going to be recharging, because once Mars moves out of that 12th house into your sign of Capricorn, well, then you're starting a new 2-year cycle with a lot of energy and forwardness, dedication, new goals, and so forth. So when you're in this dream time here in August, try to listen where your higher mind goes, where inspiration goes, your inner creativity, because the 12th house is very psychic, open as far as clairvoyance, intuition, and so forth. So having that inner walkabout will just power you up, where you can see things very clearly of where you're going to be heading for the next 2 years. So it's an important time. Mars will also be aligning with Saturn here a little bit later in August. More on that once we get to the calendar part of the reading. But when those two meet, magic happens. That's you making some very deep decision and commitment. And that commitment will be extremely powerful. More on that in a little bit. We're looking at Saturn has been retrograde, and it has been for several months in this dream time area, the 12th house, your subconsciousness. It's also known as the house of karma and clearing out. So a lot of you Capricornians have been revisiting, overlooking your lifespan. We're not just talking about looking back over the last few weeks or months, but actually all the way back maybe to childhood and up to this point. What have you accomplished? What have you achieved? What were those great moments in life? What would you have wanted to do differently if you so could? It's really realigning those inner, should I say, visions of your lifespan. But now that Saturn's going to be moving direct again, August 13th, well, you're going to start seeing that you can start thinking more about the future. So it's funny though, because normally we're very future oriented. We make our plans and we stick to them, and we're all about action, action, action. But as for so many of us, we might have felt that these last 4 to 5 months really haven't been all about the future. More so like a standstill, and Saturn is your ruler, so for you even more so, it's held a whole lot more power. But you're going to start seeing that the future is going to be meeting up with you relatively soon. We also have Pluto in that first house under its long transit, so that is also now retrograde, so it's taking a little sleep, so not too much personal transformation taking place right now. Same thing goes for Neptune, is retrograde in your third house for communication, so we're seeing that too is taking a little bit of a break, but it is in the sign of Pisces, upon which it rules, so it's still super creative, and that it comes across in the way that you speak, in the way that you are trying to target, should I say, the groups of people that you speak with. So you're really wanting to come across more, I feel, spiritual these days, Capricorn, and this is a long-term evolution taking place in your consciousness, so it won't be noticed on a day-to-day basis like that, but you could slowly see how this is transforming your consciousness. So let's start. Top of the month, it's going to start off with a surprise, and I see a big smile on your face, Capricorn, and it could come from the area of love. It could be a very intimate day. It could also be a money day. Venus is bringing you this surprise here from the area of home and family. So there could be something here taking place. Maybe you're getting a new loan, refinance. Maybe you're signing up to purchase a new property, and good news could follow you from it. Because also on the same day, the Sun, which is you, also in the area of finances, is securing you here with something that you've been wanting for a long time, that you've been waiting for. So it's like having the key in the door, so to speak, at least symbolically. But I do feel that this is something that you might have been working for, so it's not all that much like a surprise, but it's always a surprise when finally something comes together. A little bit caution though here, 6th, 7th, it is all about here communication and how something is being put forward, either from you or maybe a partner. There is a square between Venus and Mars, so you might be pulling in opposite directions. The thing is, try to not be conclusive on these days. It's okay to say, let's think about it. Let's see where this is going to go, because this process is going to last pretty much like a 10-day period. All right, so if you don't get lost or get too deeply into it, of course, frustration can rise when we have these kind of conflicts. However, though, if you're wise, you will be the observer rather than the participant. Because what is going to balance this out in the end is being able to see the other party's side of the stick. Frustration is when we want to get our end of the stick up and out and to be listened to, right? But then we're not really in harmony. So on the 10th, clarity is going to come to you. This divine thought will just bombard you. That is Mercury and Pluto. coming in to the rescue. There's transformation, there's healing, there's this moment of epiphany, and you're going to go, wow, maybe this can actually put us on the same path. So that communication on the 10th is going to be very healing. Mercury coming from the 9th house, having to do with justice and balance and so forth, higher spirituality. Pluto, your first house. So it's like you're taking all this information from your higher self and putting this forward. And I feel as you do, Capricorn, now the 13th and the 14th, you're going to revisit that communication. What was frustrating? Well, now it can be met with a little bit more, maybe gentleness, with a little bit more resolve, where you're going to be able to also see your partner or whoever is involved. Doesn't have to be your significant other. It could be somebody at work, right? Or somebody at least that you're having this disagreement with or this process with. When you're able to say, you know, I see your point, you know, you're taking that shift, then they're going to mellow out and go, whoa, you know, it will gentle their ways. And then that will allow that person or that group to actually see your side of it. And here we go. The magic will be seen as a result between the 16th and 17th. Because here, just like you started off August with such great energy, with something that you felt very positive about, here we have new, unexpected surprises where things are coming together. There could be a celebration. This is the Sun and Uranus. The Sun still in the 8th house, Uranus in the area of the 4th house. So family funds, or family whatever is shared and discussed, that is coming together. And then Venus-Pluto, which is love and romance, and Pluto, desire and passion. Well, on the 17th, there is great energy being shared between your loved one, yourself, but then again, both Venus and Pluto have other indications as well, which rules money and values, and Pluto, big money. And so we can see how this is coming together from the 9th house to the first house, which has to do with you, your personality, your growth, your personal self, taking on this incredible, should I say, transformative type healing. But also money could open up new doors in some kind of a negotiation, especially for those of you looking for a publisher. This could come that way for you. For those of you that have been working on a lawsuit, well, maybe this would be the day where there would be something conclusive and winning a case. So this is great. Then on the 14th, and we have to remember now that Saturn is direct ever since the 13th, okay? Here we meet up with Mars and Saturn. As I mentioned a little earlier, they're now sharing the same degree in the sky, Mars being your drive, your ability to actually move forward with passion. And Saturn, this karmic energy, is opening up, and this is taking place for you in that 12th house. So whatever you initiate or start or whatever you sign, whatever the deal is, it's going to be 2 years before Mars comes back to this exact same degree. But then Saturn will be long gone. Saturn takes 28 years, so it's going to be another 28 years before you get this initiation that you will have on the 24th. So pay attention. Circle this on your calendar. See what's coming in for you. Grab the opportunity. So we end the month on a beautiful note with Venus and Jupiter sharing the same degree in the sky, called a conjunction. So we have love, we have romance, we have Jupiter, which wants to expand anything that it touches like this. So it's super, super infused. This is a grand day to celebrate. It could be a wonderful day for engagements, weddings, news about a new child, for example. But Venus also rules money, and so does Jupiter. So this could be a day for that. Now, it's in your 9th house, so yes, it could be money coming from a lawsuit. It could also be money from abroad. It could be engagement news that's happening overseas. So whatever it is for you, and especially for those of you who are thinking about publishing, this could be a great time for you to get a contract or a major payout. It is in that 9th house, so that's where you're going to see the action. And of course, if you know your own personal chart, which I can't see from here, go look at which house that Venus and Jupiter are going to meet up in. They're in the sign of Virgo, because that's where you're going to personally see that action as well.